Hello, my fellow tavern goers. Let's continue our tale to distract ourselves from our weary troubles. When we last left off, we learned that Jal had been kidnapped, questioned, and threatened before he was rescued by an acquaintance of Martha and Toblin's. After a brief respite, Jal was able to track the rest of the party to the Cragmaw Castle, conveniently reaching them as they started their interrogation of the doppelganger, Varith. Things got dark and twisty as she revealed information that made the party question the intentions of Martha and York. Despite the tension in the air, the party decided to work together to clear out the castle with a grand scheme.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Awful Good. I'm your adorable DM, Lynn Andrews, and tonight we're playing with Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Russell, and I am playing Laura, who is a half-elf level 3 druid.
And Jackson.
I'm Jackson. I'm playing Curtis, a human level 3 fighter, former gladiator.
And Dave.
Hey there, I am David. I'm playing the part of Jal Elendil. Eladin rather. He is a tiefling ranger level 3.
And Brian.
And I'm Brian, and I'm playing Beck Skullcrush, a level 2 fighter, level 1 barbarian.
And last but not least, Rob.
I am Rob. I am playing York, a level 3 half-elf bard.
Woo. And I'm the DM and I play all the other characters. And I mess with loyalties and trust and all that stuff.
Wheels within wheels. Showtime.
Just a quick question about that, about my newfound crown. Would it also fit on my arm?
If you shoved it up a little higher, yeah, it would be fine.
All right.
If you get it on there.
All right, cool.
His arms were a little thicker than yours, not by much.
Everybody. All right, so
It might fit Curtis.
now what do you? Hey. Listen. I go into a barbarian rage. Now, do you guys think we should just kind of walk through the castle on sort of a tour of newfound power, or should we lure them back here?
Seems that sweeping the castle is the most efficient way to approach it.
Martha at this point also joins York and puts on a red cloak. She looks at you. She goes, "It might be beneficial if we have the cloaks on. I'd be very surprised if news reached them that the Red Brands were wiped out yet."
I feel like,
Well,
as okay, go ahead.
Hang on. Some of them actually know, or at least somebody on your enemy side knows, because he was asking me who hired us to kill them. So keep that in mind.
Do you think?
Well, we don't.
Do you think that person might have been a wizard?
I have no idea. I didn't get anything to indicate that there was magic involved with what he was doing. It's not impossible, though.
Okay.
You know, I'll do my best impersonation of Glassstaff, which is probably not very good. Did he sound like this?
You should make up a voice, and if it's right, then Lynn has to do it from now on.
I've been a GM before. I'm not gonna box her into that corner.
Did it sound like this? This is Jimmy Stewart from now on. Like, well, I'll be.
It was Jimmy Stewart the whole time. You've solved my wizard puzzle. Jackson, whatever you want to do, I'll actually let this be up to you. I mean, it's Curtis too, so he doesn't have to be honest with how he sounds.
Well, I'm not sure what impersonating someone would entail, but Curtis is probably not very good at it.
I mean, if you were trying to convince someone you were someone else, that would be a deception roll.
Okay. Yeah, I probably don't give him something good enough to go on.
Roll for
Maybe
it.
Maybe he lets me do the talking.
Are you? So wait,
I shrug.
do you want to
I
come
guess we'll
up?
find out in time.
Do you want to come up with a voice or?
No, nope. Curtis is gonna let it drop.
Okay. So is anyone else putting on red cloaks?
Yep.
I feel like I would take mine off as I'm parading around as the new king
Okay.
in our deception.
Jal, when you guys were going along the hideout, you guys ended up grabbing cloaks. And for those who hadn't grabbed cloaks, Martha actually packed cloaks before the group took off. So if you want to put on a red cloak, you have access to a red cloak. You should have already had one on you, but
Sure, I will put a red cloak on.
Okay,
I do have one.
Laura, do you put one on? Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone's got red cloaks.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, I'll say I'll keep mine on, and we'll just be like the Red Brand ruffians have taken over.
So Lem's not putting on a cloak because none of them are Lem size.
Lem.
And Lem goes, "So what's the plan here?"
I say we make a sweep, like Curtis said, and see who follows us and see who doesn't.
Well, there was 2 doors, I think, in that room where we took over we took those hobgoblins.
Yes, I think we should make a left out of this room and proceed around in a circle as much as possible.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Capital.
So I need to know your marching order.
Do you want me to take point again?
Do you guys close the door of the room?
Yeah, because we're trying to keep somebody alive.
Okay.
Would it make sense for me if we're parading around in our new resplendent glory, for Beck to take point, or would it make more sense to have the reign?
You're still wearing the crown?
Yeah,
Kings don't normally take point.
that's true.
Lem, speak up as soon as she goes. Well, probably would help to have a goblin leading, but I'm not sure after that who would be where. The Red Brands, I don't know too much about them. I wasn't part of the castle here.
Lem, quick question about our authenticity here in our claim to the throne. Would it or would it not help to have his head?
Oh yeah, I thought we were going to drag his body or his head or whatever.
Yeah, let's grab his head. His body, he's a really big guy. Let's just grab his head. That'll be more mobile.
Okay. So you guys take his head. Do you put it on something? I take it.
Kind of
Or
felt,
you just
just
carry
carry
the
it
head?
by the hair.
Okay. Yep.
Should at least have like a game hook or something, you know.
If I had one, does anybody have like a hook?
That'd be. I don't think I do, but that'd be nice. I should. I'm a hunter now.
I have a
Literally.
staff.
Mm.
Oh, only quarter staff.
I don't really have anything to keep it on, so.
Put it on a pike.
Okay. So I take it you're gonna have Lem, and then who else before Lem, or after Lem, or whatever.
York, as our most charismatic, would you be our concierge?
I would be delighted to do the talking. Yes.
Okay. So York.
What's a concierge?
I don't think that's the right word for it, but
I don't think so. Man.
liaison.
Beck, are you? There you
What's a liaison? Gotta remember, Giles an idiot.
They promote synergy.
go.
Upward mobility. Ladders.
Synergy. Is that the thing I do at the the pole dancing griffin? Synergy.
Anyway, Beck, are you after York?
I think so.
Okay. Who's
Shall
gonna
I
be?
walk alongside Beck?
Sure.
Okay.
And then me.
And then you, and then Martha.
And then, where's Jal at?
Oh yeah, Jal, where do you want to be?
If I'm not on point, I really don't care. Wherever you need me.
Okay. Do
So
you
I
want to be behind Martha?
Yeah, I don't trust that girl.
I think if you,
Okay.
I think if you were in the back too, like you could,
That'd be fine,
because
too.
of your range, you could protect us from behind and get, your ranged attacks in.
Okay. So you guys start. So you guys make your way down to the southern room, the one that's marked 12. I take it.
Yes.
Is Gundren with us as well?
Nope. Gundren's been back in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's helping guard with Luna.
Yeah, as
Okay.
of right now, that's what he's doing. Unless you guys wanted him to do something else. I mean, he's not in shape to fight. Okay. So you guys make your way towards the southern room. There's still the hobgoblins that you guys kind of killed, and they're like slumped over on their beds. Which door are you guys? Or here, I just realized it's not really. So you guys have a door to the west
Mm-hmm.
and a door to the south. And there's kind of another crumbled wall here, because again, a lot of this castle is crumbled and falling apart.
West?
I was long ago told, go west. I believe that is a good plan.
West
Okay.
it is.
Lem goes, okay.
To Westeros.
Oh, jeez. So you all step into this room. Let me clear it up. It's you suspect there was probably like stairs to various towers and whatnot. Unfortunately, just a lot of this is just crumbled.
Mm-hmm.
Crumbled pillars. So
Looks good.
Lem doesn't notice anything before, she started walking you guys in. But you've got several things. Lem points at the northernmost door, and she goes, I've come through there. There's going to be a lot of people in these various areas, so it just I don't know how they're going to react.
Okay.
Well, you just leave that to me. If I can get my voice to them, then the voice should do the rest.
She looks around and she notices the doors to the south, and she's like, I'm not quite sure what those doors go to. I know there's a kitchen around here and some barracks, but not quite sure.
Kitchen.
Is there anything of interest lying in the rubble, or is it just stone?
No, it's just old decrepit stone. It's
Okay.
crumbled under, no upkeep or anything.
Well, let's, I'm starting to wonder, like, I don't really want to leave too many blank spaces open.
Yes, if you'd like, I would also support investigating to the south.
So I think the south is our best bet. Leave no stone unturned.
He gets my vote.
Alright. What does everyone else think? I say south.
Yeah, do it.
Fine by me.
Alright.
To the south, Lem.
You guys are going south?
Yep.
Okay. Which door?
The very bottomest one.
Uh,
The southest.
okay. So she peeks in through and she goes, well, I'm not sure if this is gonna be useful. And, you guys have found, an exit out of another exit out of the castle. She does point up, and she gives you the sign to be quiet, and she points up and showing that there are arrow slits along the wall, but you don't notice any other things going on.
Noticing that this does not that this is an exit wall, Beck says, I have a feeling we should go back and examine the other south door before moving forward through the rest of the so that no one comes behind us.
That's agreeable
Okay.
with me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
To the window, to the wall. No?
So the loot drips off our balls? All these goblins crawl. I can keep going.
That is not the title to this episode.
Till the loot drops,
It's-
drips off our balls.
It's gonna happen. Yes.
so much for our clean lyrics title.
Hey, that's not
Hey,
explicit yet. No one's dropped F-bombs.
You guys are the ones leading me there. I'm just going with it.
I really don't know the rest of the words to the song, so
Well, you also missed York's magical balls, so you know.
I'm sure he'll see them.
Also, it's a theme then. This works. This is perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so
You
Lem.
haven't seen the worst of my balls.
Oh my gosh.
So to the south, to that south door.
So you guys, Lem presses her ear up against the door. She doesn't really hear anything. She goes, I'm not sure what's in this room, so we should be careful.
Okay.
So do you guys all go in?
Scout.
So roll stealth.
So stealthy.
You roll 15 or 14. The upper floors of this was probably once a beautiful tower have collapsed to create a hollow silo at least 30 feet high, and the upper reaches of the room are lost in shadow. There's dust and rabble and broken glass covering the floor, and old work tables and bookshelves strewn about. In the middle of the room is a hulking beast that looks like a mangy bear with an owl's head. It rears up and roars when it sees you.
A bear with an owl head?
Wait, it
Owl
sees
bear.
me? What happened? No!
You need to roll initiative.
A bowel bear?
Owlbear.
It's an owlbear. Okay, so the rest of you are outside of this room. Jal, you have there's this owlbear and it's roared at you. You get a reaction before we get into things. What are you doing? It has not attacked you. It hasn't done anything.
I am wiping the owlbear spittle out of my eyes and going like, this is disgusting.
Do you get out of the way of it? Are you gonna do you call out to everyone? What do you do?
Trying to think what's funnier.
Just close the door really calmly and be like, there's an owl bear.
Yes! That!
Okay. Joel, you do that. You go and you close it, and as Joel closes the door, you hear this dunk, 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 and Joel, you're just sitting here going thunk, thunk.
I'm just like, they have an owlbear. Somebody want to brace the door with me?
I step
Maybe.
up, brace the door.
Okay.
So what are we doing now?
Does anyone know
Now
anything
that
about
we're
owl
bracing the
bears?
door?
Somebody has a brilliant plan.
Fought one in the arena once. They're pretty much brute force, but they can be pretty nasty.
Do we actually give a hoot about this?
Thunk.
Is there
Nice.
is there any way to keep him in the building or in this room without actually destroying him?
That door's not gonna hold up very long.
All right. Well,
Martha,
He's making a huge racket. I say we silence him.
all right.
Martha pipes in. She goes, "Well, he's been in there for some time. The door hasn't given. I mean, we could also clear the path, and maybe it will just run away."
Hey, is an owlbear an animal or is it a
It's an
or
animal.
is it a sentient being?
It's not sentient.
I believe it's strictly an animal.
Because wolves are also animals, and we have somebody that happened to talk to one once, and we came away with an animal friend.
Yeah, if it just beasts, then it won't work on the owlbear.
Well, we could try to let it go, but aren't you worried about your Bullington?
Well, we're in the woods. This is they're pretty normal creatures up here. Remember, it took us a couple days to get here.
Well, if you think it might run away, then maybe. Sure.
I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do. Thunk, thunk.
Hold on, I can turn into a bear, right?
Yes, you can.
Brian, I want to
You
turn
can.
into a bear. I'm trying to find the page though, so that I.
You know it's not a bear though, right?
It's an owl bear.
It's an owlbear.
But you can still turn
It's
into a
a-
bear to combat it.
I
if
mean,
you
yeah,
want.
you can still.
I still think it would be cool to be a bear and fight.
Hey, you do whatever you want to do.
Trapdoor was a bear. Well, he was an owl bear.
As people are
Or
looking
maybe it
at,
was just an owl.
as you guys are looking things up, or as you guys are discussing this, the thunking actually stops, and you hear kind of like a, and there's no other like.
Oh, he just wants to get
Yeah.
out, doesn't he?
Yeah, sounds like it.
So he can't be reasoned with. He's not going to join our party. Is what you're trying to get across to me? We're not going to get an owlbear to join the party.
Not right now.
Perhaps if the non-bear members of the party all stealthed.
Not right now. That's what we tell the kids, and we don't want to tell them no. But the answer is really no.
That's right. That's right.
It's like,
Well, I mean, I don't know what you guys are. I mean, there's always a possibility when you guys are higher level characters and have other spells and stuff. But right now, talk with animals doesn't work for an owlbear.
Deal. Yes. So,
Are you turning into a bear, Mary, or are you holding off?
yeah, I'll turn into a bear.
oh, cool.
Yes, I'd like to be a brown bear, please.
Okay, so you guys are like dealing with this thing. You notice that the sound has like stopped, and as the sound stops, all of a sudden you hear a boom and a like thunk, and you guys don't see Laura. You just see a brown bear.
Ah!
Hmm.
Did anyone else?
Teddy!
Did anyone know she could do that? Do we just like
Martha goes.
back away?
Martha's like, she's a druid, isn't she?
I don't know. We haven't really talked all that much, to be honest.
Martha gives you a nice pat on the head, Mary.
Well,
Okay.
the rest of us are gonna stealth. If you want to try and lead the owlbear outside, that'd be great. Or maybe into a room of his captors. Curtis,
can I talk?
Curtis, maybe you want to.
You cannot talk. You can like, you can nod and such, but you can't talk. They can't understand you.
You have to speak in all bear growls.
Well, in accordance with the plan, I'm going to hide under one of those beds.
Yep, I'm gonna get the H out of the way. Stealth.
Same.
Mary, I'm making you a sheet that's the bear form of you.
Okay.
Because you have a different AC, you have different attacks as a bear.
Okay.
I
So
rolled a 16 for stealth.
okay. So everyone else is going and hiding and at least getting out of the way. Who's going to be opening the door?
Oh, I guess I should do that.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't have hands, huh?
Just have these bear hands.
What else to do with my bare hands?
Womp womp womp.
Well,
Okay.
Joel, why don't you
You
roll
guys-
stealth and then open the door and run off?
I did
You
roll
you
stealth,
did.
and I will open the door and I will run off.
Okay. So, Mary, are you positioning yourself in front of the door, or are you pushing yourself to the side?
Like to the side.
Okay.
Like I can see into the room, but to the side.
Okay. So, Shawl opens the door, and that fell off the table. Okay. He opens the door and gets out of the way, and you hear
I get flattened by the door as it charges through.
Yeah. You hear a loud roar, and then all of a sudden, this owlbear just books it out of that room, and they run into the room that you guys are all hiding in, and is just like frantically like going around, and then pushes its way more north and gets its way out of the room and
kills Gundren Rockseeker. No! Oh god!
It's looking around, and it ends up just making its way out, and you guys saw it turn the corner up north to the room where it would get out. You guys are assuming it's out.
Okay.
Can I use my
Be free, owlbear.
Can I use my keen smell to roll perception and see if I know where it went?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, in World Walkers they have a character named Ertleby who's a druid, and she every time she changes into a different animal, they rename her. Ertle Squeak for mouse and Ertlebear.
Yes. I put the character sheet as Lore Bear. So what'd you roll?
A 15.
Okay. You sniff around and you kind of like walk up a little bit more into the north room, and the sense of the owlbear is fading and getting further.
Okay. So I turn back into myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
you don't want to stay as the bear?
well,
did you have to expend a spell slot to animal shape? She didn't?
No, she's a Circle of the Moon. It's a bonus action, baby.
Cool. Okay.
so I say, so it's gone, as if you couldn't tell. It's gone.
You turned into a bear. This is this is new to me.
Do we hand her one of our red cloaks?
No, she has her
Strap
clothes
that.
on.
Okay. Just making sure.
So I'll get my cloak situated back, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing that I can do.
Oh,
So
cool. We should. That seems like that would come in handy for our adventures. Should do that.
Quite incredible. Truly.
Very nice. Thank you for handling the bear situation.
Honestly, I barely noticed you were gone, but
It's
uh
a little unbearable. All right.
Um,
Shall we continue? or should we look in that room?
Lem coughs and she
Maybe
goes,
we should take a pause to look in the room.
so you guys are gonna look in the room that the owlbear was in?
Yeah.
ew, owlbear droppings.
If we don't, then there's going to be like, a +1 armor in there or something, and we won't notice.
Okay. I need you all to make perception checks.
Okay.
Nailed it.
What'd you roll?
2.
Natural 20.
19.
I got a
Blackjack.
6.
5.
Okay. You guys look around. Curtis, you think you start to see something, and York instead just like pushes you aside and looks. And York, you find a wooden chest, kind of battered looking, in the rubble.
Yes, look here. Chest. In the rubble. Incredible. No one else could have noticed this but me.
I put a hand on York's shoulder there. I wasn't really in your way there. You didn't have to. Forget it. It's a chest.
Well, by all means, York steps out of the way and allows Curtis to have first dibs on that chest.
But do you think it's trapped or something?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Well, there's more than one way to find out, but there's an amusing way and a non-amusing way.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure the amusing way involves those magical balls of yours.
This is never gonna get okay.
You've got one of these that'll trigger any traps on this, right? You just throw it at it and it sets off. Yeah. You don't, do you?
I'm afraid I do not. No.
I love D&D.
Okay. Well, I'll open the chest.
Well, hold a moment. I roll 13 for investigation and check if it's trapped.
It is not trapped. It's actually unlocked.
Okay, and what's inside?
So inside you find 90 copper piece, 120 gold piece, a potion of healing, a scroll of silence, and a scroll of revivify. 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 Let's say that 10 times more.
That.
Now,
Revivified.
Now, if I can recognize a scroll of revivify, would I also know what it does?
You would have to do an Arcana check.
Okay, let's see if I know what it does. I got a 7. I probably don't.
You don't know jack about this scroll.
Can I also do an Arcana check?
Yeah, do you show,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I show the loot to the crew.
Oh.
Guys, obviously this is the scroll of cure itch.
I think it's made out of paper, but I'm not entirely sure.
There's words on it. No, wait, these are smudges.
So what were the numbers you guys got?
I have no idea.
Ooh, Beck, let's play tic-tac-toe.
I think no one rolled over a 10. That's for sure.
Yeah, I got a 3.
I got a
7.
6.
You guys aren't sure what this does.
All right. Well, let's just put this in our bag and press on, I guess.
Okay.
You're no fun.
Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
Are there any other objects of note in the room?
No, I mean, like, the scroll, the owlbear had obviously been there for a while, and you take from its reaction, like, you guys got lucky it didn't attack you, because you don't see any remnants of it being fed. So it was probably starved and whatnot. You guys, you know, Curtis, you count yourself lucky.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that does it for this room. Let's move on.
Should we check the northern room between 11 and 14?
Yes. No, wait.
Yes.
Oh, wait, all the way up there?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hit that one on our way back out. Is that actually a room?
I see a door.
You saw a door, that's all you know.
Okay.
That's where we left our prisoner and her guards.
They're gonna get ambushed.
I mean,
Well
you guys can go check it out if you want.
All right.
Joel, you're the one who suggested it. Are you still down for it?
I believe in being thorough. Let's do it.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll head back.
Fair play.
So you guys go back up.
I'm so sneaky. Oh.
Hey,
Gundren's-
hey guys.
Gundra's just in there going, that was quick. Are you guys done?
We forgot something.
Just kick the
I
door
rolled an
open.
11 for stealth, so I just kind of knock on the door
Yeah,
and
like-
open it.
Yeah. You see like a bathtub in it. and the walls collapse.
And a naked
in.
half-elf!
There's nothing in this room.
Okay.
It's just like an old washroom that wasn't being used.
Nailed it.
All right. Luna, you're doing a great job. And we walk out.
Luna comes up and nuzzles you real quick, Mary. Not in like an alerting way, just kind of like, you know.
Just a platonic kind of nuzzle.
It's like,
Yup.
I heard an owlbear outside. Are you guys okay?
Yeah. I smelled the owlbear. Can I go eat it? Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
There's several options.
I say we go over. No, wait. I say we go down to the bottom again, where we were about to go. Down.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
And just kind of go up and.
Just make it. Oh shoot! No.
Hey, we know what
Oh,
things
well.
are now. Hey, those are arrow slits.
We've uncovered the legend.
Shoot.
The hidden
The
temple?
legend of the Cragmaw Castle.
Oh god dang it. Oh well, it didn't really like actually give anything away, so that's good. Okay, so which door are you guys going through?
The one closest to 10 and 13.
Okay. So Lim puts up her ear against the door, and everyone roll a perception check.
Okay.
Very perceptive.
15.
19.
17.
11.
17.
Beck, you go in first.
You guys can hear yelling coming from the room. You hear, it's all in Goblin. So for those who speak Goblin, what you hear is, no, over there. We must prepare this. Ugh, why am I dealt with, you imbeciles? Ugh. And various insults and whatnot.
I whispered to the others, some kind of fuss over preparations? They're setting something up?
It's a kitchen. This castle even has a kitchen.
Be our guest. No.
Well,
All the mod cons, as they say.
So, Lem
do
goes.
you need some cooks for my food cart?
Lem looks up. She goes.
Never gonna be a food cart.
Lem looks up and she goes. It sounds like a lot of people in there. So we should be prepared for that. And she looks at you, Laura, and she goes, "Can you turn into a bear again by chance?"
You got it, sister.
I have an idea, but I'm not sure how you feel about it.
What's your plan?
Well, we know that they respect or at least are scared of power. Might look better if we have someone riding a bear.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'm up for some intimidation as a bear. Who's gonna ride me?
And she goes, well, we could maybe go with the queen thing we were thinking of. I'm not sure, though, if I should...
I'm like putting the crown on her. I'm like, yes.
Well,
Welcome to the royal family, my dear.
She looks up at you and she goes, or you could do it because a half-orc sitting on a bear seems a bit more intimidating than a goblin sitting on a bear. You slowly take the crown.
Probably. I don't speak goblin, though, so I'm going to need people to speak. Anyways.
Well, we've got you there.
Let's do it.
York,
Okay.
do you speak goblin?
I sure do.
Okay. So Lem goes, I think between me and York, we might be okay. So do we want to just round in there, or do we want to... York, what do you think? Should we do a hear you kind of thing? Or, I mean, they don't really stand on formality.
No, they don't. But, if we strike the kitchen first, then we can get through to their hearts by their stomach or something. Let's do it.
Laura, how do you
Okay.
feel about this plan? May I ride on your bear form?
Everyone's trying to say something that is sounding bad, and it's just making it worse. I'm sorry, I tried to word
How do you feel about this plan? Period. The end.
I am okay with this plan. Let's do this. So I curl up into a ball and turn into a bear.
So you guys watch as Laura curls in, and all of a sudden, whoa, this big brown bear. I can't make a bear noise to save my life.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And I like try and like climb onto her. All right.
Okay.
So I make it up fun.
Okay, yeah, you're on here. I mean, the ceilings are tall enough for you guys.
I'm now riding on a bear.
Okay, so we have the same order of Lem and York.
Mm-hmm.
And then Curtis, are you standing next to the bear form?
Yep.
As far as getting through the
Walking
door, like
alongside.
it's gonna have to be kind of single file throughout the door, but you guys
Yep.
can, like go in. Okay, and then it'll be Martha and Jal then bringing up the back.
Mhm.
So, okay, so you guys go into this room. Let me...
Make way for the Bear King.
So I'll give the description again, and you guys can do your stuff.
Yeah.
The western portion of this large hall extends into the wall of rubble, but the remainder is still intact. This must have been the castle's banquet hall, with soaring ceiling 20 feet high. There's 2 wooden tables with plain benches standing in the middle of the room, and a brass brazier full of glowing coals is tucked into the corner. There's dirty dishes and half-full stew pots, moldy heels of bread, and gnawed bones all over the table. In this room, you see many goblins kind of going back and forth, and there seems to be a what you think is probably the chef. He has like a hat on top of his head that doesn't quite look like a chef hat, but he's barking around orders to the other goblins, and he's not being very nice about it and yelling insults and stuff that the rest of you heard.
I hope his name is Gordon.
So you guys, York, what are you and Lem going to do?
As soon as the door bursts open, right when they're still reeling from the initial shock, York is going to jump right into his spiel. As soon as they jump in, are we doing that now?
Did they notice?
Yeah.
Did they notice that we're there?
Well, York
Oh.
starts walking in, and Lem is following him, and Lem's looking at York for, what they're doing. So, were you all just gonna file in,
Yeah.
or?
I'm going in for it.
Okay, so you guys start filing in, and the one goblin's like yelling. He's over by the brazier, and he's like, "Oh," in Goblin, of course. He's like, "I don't know why I put up with scum like you. I should get some better help." And then he drops for a second and looks up, and he's like, "What the heck?"
York takes the opportunity to jump in. In Goblin, he's speaking in Goblin. He says, "All right, y'all, now listen up. What we have here is we have new management is come in. All hail King Beck. King Beck is slain King Grohl. He rides bears. He rides bears in multiple senses. He is just absolutely tougher and meaner and worse than all of you, and he's your new king. And I am here to persuade you to bend the knee immediately and then get back to your work, you slackers."
I love this banquet hall. It's
Ah,
perfect
yeah,
for parties.
He says he loves the banquet hall. I'm a red brand. I'm the last living red brand. I'm one of them because of my cloak. It's real.
I want you to roll a persuasion, and Lem, you get to roll with advantage because Lem is gonna pipe in. She goes, "That's right. He killed King Grohl, as you can see, head on the pointy thing, and
I'm holding it by the hair, just for reference.
yeah. Well, she's he killed him. I saw it. So probably good idea that we don't make him mad."
Okay, I'm rolling. What'd you say? Persuasion.
Yeah, you get with advantage because you're getting help, and Beck is on this, comes in this grand entrance on a bear holding the head of Grohl.
Oh, hail Beck! All right. Let's see here. Persuasion. One.
Oh,
Ooh, all right. Looks like I got a 17.
There's a lot of goblins in there.
At this point you're able to kind of take notice. There's 7 goblins. And then like the one that you think is the chef is this like fat goblin, like super fat, like you don't know how he's getting around. All the goblins drop to their knees and like look down, and the chef looks up to you and he crosses his arms and he's like, so a red brand is the one who's the leader now? Is that what's going on? I don't think so.
I ain't the leader. King Beck is the leader. He ain't no red brand. He's a half orc. He can kick all of your butts.
And I growl.
Make a.
I would love to, while she's growling, go, what?
Okay.
Roll for intimidation.
Roll intimidation. Both of you, just roll 1 intimidation.
Yes.
I rolled a 24.
I rolled a 20.
I rolled a 14.
And Lem steps up to the chef, who's now taken him back at the thing, and she goes, I think it would be best if you might want to listen to them. And then she drops for a second. She goes, trust me, it's for your best.
Got a question. Is there any of the food that they're fixing that looks particularly palatable or not disgusting?
No, it looks like the worst stuff ever. Like, the food is rotten. It smells awful in here.
Okay.
The chef, he has a wooden spoon and he points it at Lem. He goes, what makes you think I'm going to bow to a half-orc? And this is all in Goblin still.
Yeah, body language is telling a lot, I'm sure.
What is the least disgusting looking food in the room?
I mean, there's some bread you could maybe pull some mold off of.
Okay. I take a piece of bread, take a bite out of the non-moldy part, and throw it across the room. This is completely unfit for our king. You dare serve this garbage to him? This swill? Look at this. I pick up what food do I pick up?
You pick up a bowl of half-eaten stew or something. It's got like a bone sticking out of it.
Look at this. What is this? Is this for flavor? What is this supposed to be? This is worthless. I throw it in the corner. I pitch the bone at one of the goblins. You need to shape up your act, buddy. You need to get this kitchen together right now.
The goblin
King Beck is not going to put up with this bullshit. You understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying this in Goblin. So.
Are you like right up in front of the?
Hang on, I need a minute. Oh, okay. Composed. All right, sorry.
So, roll an intimidation check with advantage because that was freaking sweet.
That was fantastic.
Okay. Intimidation with advantage. I got a 21.
Nice. So, you're saying this mainly to the chef one, right? Or are you just yelling at one of the random goblins that's kneeling?
I'm saying it to the chef.
Okay. So the goblin that you chuck the bone at one of the other goblins, correct?
Yeah.
So as you chuck the bone, you hear a eek, and it knocks one of them on the head. And you see.
Guy's like, what? I'm kneeling. Oh, come on, man. Jerry, tell him I'm kneeling. Man.
You okay, Brian?
You see one of them like rubbing their head, and they say in Goblin like, he doesn't treat us well. Don't throw things at us. Throw things at him.
Okay, I walk up to the chef, and I pull him up by his collar, and I look him in the eye and just glare at him. What's he do?
So, you guys are watching, those who don't speak Goblin, you don't know what all has been said. People are just yelling random things. And you see Curtis Curtis just goes in this giant rant and he's yelling and he's speaking in Goblin. He chucks a bone at like one of the random goblins that's already kneeling. The goblin speaks to him. He goes to the chef and he grabs the chef, lifting it up, and his feet are dangling and he accidentally drops the spoon. The spoon clatters to the floor. And the chef looks at you and says in Goblin, well, perhaps it would be best if I, make something more palatable to a half-orc?
You darn right, a-hole. This kind of stuff might have flown under King Groll, but King Beck's got standards, buddy. You're gonna have to pick it up. I throw him aside.
He
all right, everybody got that? Good food here. Not this. Not that. Good food.
You call this risotto?
The goblin, as you fling the chef goblin, he hits the brazier, kind of. It doesn't knock it over, but kind of, and he hits him. He looks at the other goblins. He's like, well, you heard the man. You imbeciles, clean this up.
I walk over to him and I grab his shirt again, not lifting him off the ground. Says, yeah, and maybe they'd be a little more helpful and willing to give you a little more of their all if you wouldn't call them imbeciles every 5 sentences.
Roll intimidation.
Throw him aside again. Okay.
I love this.
Let's see what we get. 18.
I feel like Beck would lean down to Laura and be like, do you know what in the world they're talking about?
She can't even talk to you
I
either.
know.
I just shake my head.
Okay. He looks up at you and he goes, have you seen the swill that I have to work with? There's no reason to treat them any better. They're not doing a good job anyway.
Fine. It's your funeral. I'm gonna let King Beck know about this later, though. I turn to King Beck and cross my arms. It's cool. They're on our side now.
Are they? He still looks a little. No, that's not what. I'm sorry. Let's back up. I'm gonna reverse time for a second in my TARDIS that I now have. It's part of canon. And I say, what just happened? What happened? Why are you yelling so much?
I went off on them about the food.
Oh,
They're,
it does look pretty like trash.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Okay.
Okay. That wasn't even acting. That I meant every word of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
you're doing fine.
He's gonna fix you some good food. So you don't need to worry about them. There are gonna be some changes around this kitchen.
Let them know I've got some recipes if they need them. We can talk later. We'll talk later about logistics. Straighten back up.
The goblin that Curtis, you threw the bone at. York, you see. Well, actually, you all see the one that got hit with the bone. Looks up and raises its hand.
Yes, I say.
You there?
What? Who else knows about the change? I'm sorry. Who knows about the changes in leadership? Please don't hurt me.
Well, we've got a lot of people to inform, so we need to be on our way. But you guys know what to do.
Curtis, we could use a street team. It'd be really great if they'd help us spread the word.
Okay, I say. Who do you want? I gesture around the room with the goblins.
Most of these goblins look like crap. They look like they've been kind of treated really badly. They do not look like they could probably do well in a battle.
I don't.
The one who.
For reference, I do not want them for battle. I just...
No. I'm letting you know though what they appear like, and you hear another one pipe up going, if it pleases King Beck, we can kill the chef and get a new chef, and like all of a sudden and Beck, you still don't understand what they're saying.
I translate this.
Yeah, and all the other ones look up their, perk up their ears and whatnot. And they're like, we could do that and do a better job.
Are there any of them that make really great sandwiches? I'm really looking for a good panini maker.
I turn to the goblins. King Beck seeks a sandwich maker. Who among you possesses the power of really good sandwiches?
Searching in a cupboard, I'm like, there's not even peanut butter in here for peanut butter and jelly.
Dude, who's looking at all the food is like rotten and just disgusting because goblins will just eat whatever. And so the different goblins are like talking amongst themselves. Curtis, what you hear them going, sandwich maker, what does he mean by that? And they're like, well, maybe. And they look up and they're like, we don't know what it is, but we're willing to learn, especially if it gets us away from him. And they all point at the chef, and the chef is just like, oh no. And he stands up and he grabs his wooden spoon and he sticks it in the brazier and lights it on fire.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to the chef and just stand in front of him with my arms crossed.
He looks up and he goes, go ahead.
I turn back to Beck. I don't think any of them know how to make a sandwich.
So Beck, you hear nothing. There's all this talking. They point at the chef, which you don't know if they mean that the chef can make sandwiches or what. Chef says something else, and he stands up and sticks his wooden spoon in the brazier and lights it on fire.
Okay, so it seems.
Actually, I have a quick idea. Lynn, the chef is not currently hostile towards us, is he?
I think
he'd be hostile.
He looks like he's turning hostile.
He's hostile at this point. I'm sorry.
Okay, just checking.
I mean, you have other ones that aren't, but yeah, he's hostile.
Well, that one specifically, yes.
He looks at you and he goes, so you want to do this? He says this to Curtis.
You know what? In a single motion, I'm going to draw my sword and slash with it, using menacing attack. I'm gonna gouge deep if I hit. Let's see how this goes.
That's how it always goes, right? Like,
okay, got a 24.
That's a hit.
Good luck, guy.
Okay, 14 damage, and he is frightened until the end of my next turn.
So you go and he's threatening you, and you guys, this is all you see. Is you see Curtis and this this goblin, fat goblin, talking to each other. Curtis just draws out his sword, swipes at the guy, and there's this brief moment where you're not sure what happened, and all of a sudden the goblin starts shifting apart and falls dead, cut in half. And you hear Curtis, you hear all the other goblins cheer.
Oh man, if he survived, I was gonna lick the blood off the sword.
Breaker of chains.
An elegant strike, sir. Very elegant. I mean, that was a real good hit you got in on him. It was great.
So,
well, what do you think, Beck? Should we make them all the head chef now?
We will.
They all look at you.
We will get back to you all on recipes for sandwiches.
They all look at you, Curtis, and say,
translate.
We'll do whatever you want. Just don't do that to us.
Please,
I sheath the
whatever
sword.
you want.
Please clean up in here. It's a mess.
Oh wait.
I translate.
They all nod, and like they all scatter and start clearing things up. And every once in a while, a couple of them will go over near where the body of the chef is and spit on him, and then take off and keep cleaning things up.
Do you feel that? It's a new day in Cragmaw Castle.
This is nice. So keep going, I guess. We're gonna need a second plan for when I'm not actually the king. But maybe one of these people somewhere along the way will be a good one. You sure, Lem? You're still good? You don't want to be the queen. These guys are pretty pitiful. They would do pretty good for you, I think.
Lem looks up. She goes, "You seem to be doing well enough by yourself, and
I got this.
I think we've got some muscle here that works too."
Lem, another idea to consider while we work. What about a regency?
Oh.
Just something to think about.
We can talk later about it.
Just so.
All right. I think we should make our way into this. I think looks like there's a path down here to the west.
So you guys notice that there's another pathway there, and one of the goblins speaks up to you, Curtis, and says, be careful. Change can be difficult.
I translate to King Beck.
That's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
All right. Woo!
So,
none of them know how to make sandwiches.
No, know how to make sandwiches.
Not yet.
So would we like to have our next reading of a review?
All right. The review left is by Raydred1. If you like D&D, nice people and good times is the title. If you said yes, then this podcast is for you. The Awful Good crew really know how to have a good time and create a world. The story is great, the characters are awesome, and I love the humor. If you like D&D, nice people and good times, this podcast is definitely for you.
Yay!
Woo!
Thank
Thank you.
Fred.
Thank you.
Woo. Okay. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Awful Good. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Awful Good Crew. And please subscribe to our podcast and review it too. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your good podcasts. You can also watch our show on YouTube. You can find out more information on awfulgoodcrew.com. I'm Lynn Andrews, your adorkable DM. You can find me at 6color Stories with the numeral 6 on Twitter and Instagram. Mary, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Mary Wrestle.
Excellent. Jackson, where can we find you?
You can find me at chocolatebook.net, where every weekday I post Bible study, devotional kind of things. I read the Bible, I eat chocolate. It's a good time. And you can find me on Twitter at Jackson Farrell.
Awesome. Dave, where can we find you? Dave, where can we find you?
You can find me under Nerds of the Hawk on most of the things, temporarily on a hiatus while I find myself.
Excellent. Brian, where can we find you?
You can find me and my comics at The Underfold on Facebook, Twitter, and my website, theunderfold.com.
Awesome. And Rob?
You can find me at www.yourexamplewebsitenamehere.site.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again, and happy gaming.
Bye-bye.
Write us reviews. We'll read them. We're desperate. Please help us, God.
That's helpful. That's great.